The situation in Gaza has not changed since 7 October. It is still living under the Israeli continuing bombardment. Many people die and many people are still under the rebels as the rescuing team have no equipment to pull them out. No electricity, you can say, in 95% of the Gaza Strip, and very little food and very little water. So the situation, you can say that it is still as the same, hell on earth, lifeless piece of land. It is really a genocide. It is really an extermination of a whole nation. As the Israeli war jets are bombarding the civilian squares in the Gaza Strip, they are removing whole blocks. And just yesterday, we see that we saw the family of our colleague, the senior correspondent of the Arab satellite channel of Al Jazeera, Wael Ad-Dahdouh, who received the news of the killing of his family while he was reporting on air. As Israel targeted the house where his family was living, his wife, his son, and his daughter, and they were all killed. So Israel is bombarding the civilians, Israel is bombarding the civil facilities and institutions, and it has a plan and a decision to kill as many Palestinians as possible in the Gaza Strip before it ends its wars. It is a disaster, it is a catastrophe, and if the war stops, the aspects of the catastrophe will unfold, especially we are talking about thousands still under the rubble. Israeli occupation government allowed a trickle of aid into the Gaza Strip. They allow certain types of food commodities, but they don't allow fuel into Gaza, and that's why the health sector is collapsing. And the Ministry of Health announced yesterday that all of the health sector in Gaza is collapsing because of the lack of fuel. And the amount of goods that were allowed into Gaza was described by many people there. It is a drop in the ocean. They allow just some tens of maybe 20 to 35, 40 trucks, although Gaza needs every day in the normal situation 500 trucks of goods. So we are talking about a drop in the ocean, and that is according to a political and military plan that Israel has in mind. Israel wants the people to starve and to get thirsty. Israel is dictating death on tens of thousands of people in Gaza, some by the bombs, others by starvation and by thirst. What makes Israel different from any other state on the planet is its ability to lie and to market its lies. Yes, the Israeli officials, the Israeli media, and sorry to say that some Western media outlets are marketing the lies of the Israeli government. Israel lied when it bombarded the Al-Ahli Baptist Hospital in Gaza, and they tried to accuse a Palestinian faction of that, though all the experts confirmed that it was an Israeli rocket. Israel is telling the world that it is targeting the military wing of Hamas movement, while it is targeting the children and the women and the institutions of the UNRWA, the United Nations organization that shelters some of the Palestinians who were forced out of their homes. So yes, the part of this war is the Israeli propaganda and the Israeli lie. When we talk about the Arab world, we talk about two sides. We talk about the public, about the people who are protesting in the streets all the time, asking their governments to dismiss the Israeli ambassadors, especially in the countries where there are Israeli ambassadors, and calling on the world to take action to stop the massacre in the Gaza Strip. Some of the Arab people, like in Jordan, the neighboring countries, trying to approach the border and to get into Palestine to help their brothers in Palestine. But when we talk about the official position, yes, it is really shameful and it is really shocking because they are following the instructions of their masters in the United States. So we are not talking about independent Arab governments that can take decisions without referring to the American master in the White House, and they are implementing the dictations and the decisions they are receiving from Joe Biden. And we know that Joe Biden is complicit today, and his hands are stained with the blood of the Palestinian children and Palestinian women in Gaza. This conflict will end by the victory of the Palestinian people, by the victory of Gaza, because if we study history, we find that all colonial powers collapsed, and all colonized and oppressed peoples achieved a victory and got their independence and got their freedom. And Palestine, Gaza is not an exception to that rule.